All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the fall 2021 semester. My name is Jorge Monteiro, and I will be your instructor for CHEM 109 this semester. Good morning, Catherine. Good to see you here. Thank you very much for coming this early in the day. Uh, so Today, I want to go over the structure of the class and how the class will work. And if we have time, then we can start chapter number 1. All right, so let me share my screen with you guys. All right, so when joining the lecture, please just mute your microphone. And then if you want to ask any questions at any point during the lecture, just unmute yourself and I will give you the floor, okay? So do not be shy. It's your right to ask questions and it's my obligation to answer your questions. So first of all, welcome to HSU for all of you that are freshmen. Very good place to be if you are on campus, right? So at this point, some of you are looking for identity. The only way to find your identity is try different things, see what works for you, what does not work for you, and then you go from there, right? So you always learn from what does not work for you. Okay, for this course, we have a very heavy schedule, and it will require a lot of studying time that's not lecture time, okay? For the lecture part of the course, we will meet 3 times per week. Each lecture lasts for 50 minutes. And this semester we'll have live lectures, and after the second week we will shift to the high flex setting. The high flex allows you to come to the classroom, and at the same time the lecture will be live on Zoom. So if you don't want to come to the lecture, you can stay where you are. If you are not on campus, you are not going to miss anything, okay? So I want to emphasize that the lectures are live. So you have to be here either on Zoom or in person after the first 2 weeks at 9 o'clock. So I always provide the lecture slides in advance and they are available on Canvas. So if you have them with you, that will make it easier to follow and take notes. And every other Friday, we will have a 50-minute in-class assignment. And this assignment will be composed of between 5 and 10 questions. And I strongly recommend you to first try by yourself, and then you are free to discuss your results with your colleagues. And you must turn in your answers before 10 a.m. On the Fridays that we have in-class assignment. We have Smart Work 5 online homework. That's your graded homework. I will post on Canvas when we have the assignment, the deadline, and which assignment you should look for in the Smart Work 5. So you need to buy the subscription for the Smart Work online homework to have access to the online homework. And you are also welcome to go through the end of the chapter book problems, and those are not graded and not mandatory as well. Okay, so we will mostly be on Zoom. I ask you to mute your microphone during the lecture. I will give you some time after I finish every slide to take notes, process the information, and then ask me questions if you have any. To ask question, just please unmute your microphone and then speak up. It's kind of hard to follow the chat all the time. And I will move at a sort of moderate pace, and I want to make sure you understand all the concepts that we are going to discuss. You must follow the lecture, okay? So Thomas has a question here. If the SmartWork 5 is integrated with Canvas, I did not integrate, but I provided you a file on Canvas that shows how to access the SmartWork 5 for the online homework. Okay, I will go a little bit over Canvas at the end here. All right, Canvas, everything will be posted on Canvas, so you should check regularly and also check your email because Canvas will alert you of any updates that are made in the page via email as well. The second part of this course is discussion sections. So we are going to meet once per week for 50 minutes. The discussion section is going to be online. So we are going to meet on Discord. So you have the links on your syllabus to join the server. So we have two sections. The first one meets at 11 and the second one meets at 12. Please join the server that is related to the section you are in. Okay, so if you belong to the 11 a.m. section, join the server for the 11 a.m. And same thing with the 12 o'clock. For the discussion, I will post a problem set 10 minutes before the start of the discussion, and then you work in this problem set. You are free to discuss with your colleagues. I will be there if you have any questions, okay? So the idea of the discussion section is to give you extra practice in the things that we are discussing during the week or we discussed in the past week. And then turning your answers on Canvas as well. And finally, the third part of this course is the lab section. So you're going to meet with your lab instructor once per week for about 3 hours. And we are very lucky to have this semester Catherine and Glenn as the lab instructors. So Glenn, if you are fine with that, can we start with Catherine?
Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Hoyle. I am the online lab instructor this semester, so I'll be in the virtual lab. I see a lot of names that I recognize from my roster, so I'm excited to meet you all on Wednesday. Look for an email from me tomorrow that will give you more information about the lab. Let's see a little bit about myself. I'm originally from Colorado. I moved to Humboldt about 15 years ago and have been teaching chemistry labs for about 6 years, 7 years maybe. I don't know, I lose track. Anyway, I look forward to meeting you all. So come on time, please, and look for that email so that you have more information.
All right, thank you very much, Catherine. Thanks for coming again. And again, the students are lucky to have you as one of the instructors. And last but not the least, Glenn, would you introduce yourself, please?
Sure, I'm Glenn Tinseth, and I don't mind being called Glenn, although some students have said that that is hard for them. So they came up with Dr. T. It's up to you guys. You guys can call me Glenn or Dr. T. I used to say If you called me Mr. Tinseth, it made me think my dad was there. And this semester that will be weird because he passed last May. So it'll be especially weird because I'll think the ghost of him is here. So call me Glenn or Dr. T. I'll be doing the in-person lab. And I also recognize some names. I won't say why. We're going to do 2 weeks online. And then for better or for worse, they're throwing us all in Chem 571, and we're going to do the old school, get our hands dirty, try not to burn our fingers lab. So it's going to be exciting and a little bit different than we've done for the last 3 semesters. I think it's going to be great. I am a humble grad back when your grandparents were in school. I graduated in 1988 and then went on to Oregon State and got my PhD there. And what I found, and this may be pertinent to you guys, Humboldt prepared me really well for graduate school. The classes here, especially in sciences, are super complete. And I felt like even though I was completely not confident in being at graduate school, it was good that I came from Humboldt. So I just want to give you guys that, plus to let you all know you belong here, and I'm glad to see your faces. So take care. Chat me up if you want. I'm not going to hang out for the whole lecture, but I'll also send you an email in my lab and let you know what's up. Take care.
All right. Thanks very much, Glenn. And again, I think the students are very lucky to have you as the lab instructor, and they are very, very lucky to have the opportunity to get hands-on experience as well. So with that being said, just keep in mind that things change really fast, and just be prepared for changes to the course or the hands-on part of the course that they might or might not happen. Okay, so just keep an open mind. And Glenn and Catherine, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate that you guys took the time. So if you wanna hang on for the rest, you are welcome. If not, you are free to do other things. Okay. Good morning and good semester for all of us. All right, guys. Okay, so that's how the lecture, the Chem 109 will work. We have lecture, discussion, labs, and then extra activities like homeworks and the in-class assignment. Okay, so that will make up your whole grade. For the grade, everything will be taken into account. So in-class assignments, discussions, labs, and online homework, it will be put in one package and you do your final grade. Okay, so I just realized I didn't talk much about my background. So I'm originally from Brazil, and I moved to the United States the first time back in 2012, stayed for a year, returned to Brazil, and then moved in a more permanent way in 2015, and have been here since then. All right, let's see here if we have Liliana available. Okay, so another thing that I would like to talk about today is regarding time management and help. Okay, so let's start with the help part. You have office hours with me 2 times a week. I don't recall the times right now, but we can go over the syllabus. So during the office hours, I will be available if you have any questions regarding the material or regarding anything else. I will be available in person or through Zoom. during the allotted time. And you have an extra help with the supplementary instruction. Our instructor for this semester is Liliana Cortes. She has worked as an SI instructor for 2 or 3 semesters. Liliana, you correct me if I'm wrong. So Liliana, I think it's a good time for you to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about SI, and then we will move on from there. Good morning, Liliana.
Good morning, George. Good morning, everyone. So hello, my name is Liliana, and I'm going to be the supplemental instructor for this class. I am a biology major who enjoys chemistry, and for my class, we're going to be meeting Tuesdays and Thursdays from 5 to 5:50 on Zoom. And SI is just one unit class. It's a credit or no credit, and in order for you to receive credit, you need to you need to attend at least 70% of classes throughout the semester. And our activities are done through games, online material, online models, and worksheets. And so what pretty much SI is just 2 hours, 2 extra hours per week where you're able to interact with the new material you're learning or review the material you're learning through the games, online models, and worksheets. And it also allows you to interact with your peers in the class. You should be creating some group messages where you're able to talk to each other about questions, or even study groups. You can totally do that online. And when I took Chemistry 109 my freshman year, I also took the SI, and it was really, really helpful. And I was able to make new friends. Freshman year is always a little scary. I'm not sure how many of you are freshmen, but especially now where it's all, or not all, but most of it is virtual. It's a great way for you to make friends, meet new people, and create those study groups. And additionally, research has shown that those who regularly attend SI do receive half a better grade than those who don't. I'm going to put my email and the class number on the chat. And then there were some questions in the chat. So what times are the class again? And Brody was right, it's from 5 to 5:50 Tuesdays and Thursdays. And where you can sign up, you can go into your portal and go into your enrollment. And then with the code that I just gave you, you can either look up Chemistry 108, and then you have to look through each to make sure that it is for the correct chemistry class, or you could just input the class code that I gave you, and that should give you to the correct class, and you'll just be able to enroll from there on. Are there any more questions from anyone?
I think they are shy the first day, Liliana. So, Liliana, do you want to post some instructions on Canvas as an announcement?
Yeah, of course I could do that. I could also, I think the Learning Center does have like screenshots on how to add classes. So I could also give a link to that.
Yes. If you can post the link for the Learning Center, and then I think they can go from there. And again, if you have any questions, you can email directly Liliana, or you can email me and I will redirect you to Liliana as well. All right, Liliana, and this is the 3rd semester you are with me?
Yes.
Yes, so Liliana has a lot of experience in my class. So she is a very good resource regarding my style and what kind of questions I answer and what I focus during the lecture. So, and SI, again, is not a graded class, so it doesn't hurt to take it. And I would strongly recommend you to do so. Okay, Lilian, anything else you would like to talk about, maybe about your experience in Chem 109?
Yeah, of course. So my freshman year, when I was taking Chem 109, was not my first time I took chemistry, and I'm sure that might be true for some of you. When I took it in high school, I struggled a lot. It was like one of my worst classes. So I was very anxious coming into college and taking this class. which was what actually led me to sign up for SI. And I really, really enjoy chemistry now. I was able to take those 2 extra hours and focus on what I needed help with. And one thing that is always really scary is asking for help. And I know for me, it's even now, it's really hard to ask for help sometimes. But I've noticed that when you have peers from that class, it's easier to ask for help. And what I've noticed is that for those who have already taken chemistry, they might have learned a different way. So in SI, when you're interacting with each other, you're able to actually pick up what they learned or how they learned it. And it might be easier for you, or it might help you understand better. So SI is very collaborative, and you do have to put in some effort to be able to communicate with your peers and get the material done, as well as that I like to put everything that even my PowerPoints on my Canvas. So you will have access to everything we do in SI. Another thing is I'm going to put in an announcement, just kind of reminding everyone what time my classes meet, as well as the link. So if you're on the fence, or if you can't come both days, you're welcome to just show up. Let me know your situation, and I could add you to the Canvas without actually being enrolled. Or you're totally welcome to be enrolled.
All right. Thank you very much, Liliana. And I think you are going to be a very good support for the students, as you always have been during the last 2 semesters. Yes, so again, CHEM 109, I will be honest with you, it's a very dense course, and there's a lot of things that we need to cover. So with that being said, I repeat that every semester. Do not leave activities to be completed at the last minute. Honestly, assignments in college are long. And if you sit through the 50 minutes and listen to everything I say, that's not enough to complete the assignments. You need to go back and read the book, go to SI, come to my office hours, and make sure everything is squared off. Okay, leaving assignments for the last minute will make you stressed and annoyed with your instructor. Okay, so please do not leave things for the last minute. If the assignments due 11:59 and you email me at 10 p.m. asking some questions, I'm sorry, I will not answer you till the next day. Okay, so if you ask me the day before, then you have a better chance to get an answer before the due date. Allocate a reasonable amount of time for each course and follow your schedule. You do not have to start and finish your assignment in one shot. Do it a little bit every day, and that will prevent you from getting overwhelmed. Again, we are here to help you through the class and not to give you the answers, okay? So it's a collaboration. I will guide you, but if it doesn't come from you, then I cannot push you through the class, okay? It has to come from you. All right. Okay, let's talk about grades. So here I have listed all the activities we will have during the semester. So we have every other Friday in-class assignment. I will always post on Canvas when we have in-class assignment. We have the online homework, discussion problems, final exam, pre-labs, and labs. And everything will be contributing to your grade. And here I list the percentages of each activity towards your final grade. Okay, so in-class assignments is the heavyweight here, followed by discussion, and then we have final and labs with the same weight, and homework and pre-labs 10% each. Okay, So your final grade will be assigned after the final exam, and that is the range for each letter grade that you have to achieve to receive your final grade. Okay, so A between 10 and 9.5, and so on, so on, so on, and lower than 5.0, that's a fail, and then you have to do the course again. Grades will not be curved or anything like that. There are no extra credits for this class. I believe you have a lot of chances here to be successful. So let's it just requires work, trial, error, go back, getting better, and move on. Okay. So it's not a shame to be wrong. Okay. Just understand that it's part of the game. Nobody knows everything, so make mistakes and come back from them. That's how it works. That's how you get better. Okay, so very good. Um, if nobody has any questions, I will show up Canvas, and then we can start chapter number 1. All right. Just give me a second here. Okay, let me show you really quick Canvas. Okay, so that's the Canvas page for lecture and discussion. Your lab is in a different Canvas page, and you will have access to either the online lab or the in-person lab. So if you never worked with Canvas, I will tell you, I had a lot of problems the first time I worked with this. So just ask me any questions, send me an email if you are having any struggle with Canvas. It's hard to get to the grip, but once you understand the structure, this will be simple. And I try to keep it as clean as possible. So your homepage will have direct links to the instructions, lecture slides, lecture notes. I might post lecture recordings, in-class assignments and keys, and discussions as well. Okay, so if you click in the lecture slides, oh, there we are. So you can find here the lecture slides that I will follow for chapter number 1. And I will post the lecture slides as we move through the course. Okay. So of course, start from the number 1 here, instructions. There are instructions for the class. Have the syllabus here, instructions for the discussions, and instructions for the smart work online homework. And assignments, that's where I will post any assignments that we will have during the week, either online homework, in-class assignment, and so on. Okay, and you can follow your grades in the grade part. So there is nothing here, of course, and you can find the Zoom links for the classes on Canvas as well. Okay, so that's very convenient as well. All right, John, what do in-class assignments look like? I will not lie to you. They will put pressure on you a little bit. Don't be scared. Drink some water, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, exhale. Chill out. And so what I will give you is a set of 5 questions, between 5 and 10, depending on the week. And I will let you know how many questions will be there before it starts. 5 questions, no multiple choice. So you have to write everything. So you answer then in a piece of paper or type in the computer, and you will send the answers to me. Okay. So during the in-class, I will be on Zoom. If you want to ask any questions, I'm glad to answer. What I recommend you to do is to try to solve the questions by yourself first. And man, you are free to discuss with your colleagues, okay? So, and I would strongly recommend you to do that, okay? So discuss questions that you might have struggle with your colleagues, and before 10 o'clock, you submit the answers and we will move on to the next week, okay? So the questions are not going to be hard, but again, if you are not following the course, that will make hard on you, okay? So you have to help me help you, okay? So if you do all the assignments, if you have no problems with the discussions or the material, you should be fine for the in-class assignment. It might scare you at first because there is a time restraint, and that will be the thing you will have to work with, okay? Again, we do not have to start 100%, so work slowly, and I'm pretty sure at the end of the course, you guys are going to be flying high here, okay? So do not be scared. If there is a struggle, there is a struggle, so let's solve the problems. Okay, so regarding the Discord link. So the Discord link will give us a space where you can have a video chat or a voice chat with your colleagues or with me. Okay, so it's just a space that we can all be together at the same time, and allows you to do video chats, voice chats, and text chats. And the links for the Discord are in the syllabus. Okay, so you will join the server, and then we will be there for the discussions. Okay, and just reminding you, we will not have discussions today because there is nothing to discuss. So we will have our discussion section starting next week. All right, very good, very good. If there are no other questions, then we can start with the lecture material.
Do we have a registration code for the Smart 5 thing? I'm trying to register for it right now.
Let me see here. Just a second. Let's see. Yeah, the Smart Work 5 is kind of tricky, actually. So who is talking with me? Just then I can.
It's Eli. I'm Eli.
Oh, okay, I see you here. Sorry. Just come here to Smart Work 5 registration.
Yeah, the code's not on there.
So the code you will get when you purchase the access.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a trial version that you can use for a month, I think, or something like that. But once it ends, man. So I would recommend you just to buy the license for the semester, and then you are going to get the code.
So is this like the digital textbook we need? If we get this, do we need to get the hardcover or should we get both? Or
So there is an option to get the textbook plus the Smart Work 5. So if you haven't gotten the textbook yet, I would get this option, and then it's one package, and the code will come with the ebook or the hardcover, whatever you choose.
All right, sweet. Thank you.
Okay. Does that answer your question for now?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. All right. Very good, very good. Okay, so we have some time here to start the chapter number 1. So let's do that. And let's see how far we can get here. All right, guys, very good. Let's start with the chapter number 1. This is a very introductory chapter. We are going to basically talk a little bit about chemistry, transformations, how to record data. All right, so those are the topics that I'm going to cover during the lecture. And I also add here where each topic is in the book. So we will start with importance of chemistry, moving on to properties and states of matter, classes of matter and mixtures, scientific method, and then we will talk about accuracy and precision, significant figures, operations, rounding, international system units, scientific notation, prefixes, and a little bit about dimensional analysis. Okay, so although your major is not chemistry, of course, I have to pitch here. Chemistry is very important. So believe it or not, is 25% of the US GDP comes from the chemistry industry. Okay, chemistry is related with a lot of fields, and more than 96% of all manufactured goods are directly touched by the business of chemistry. Okay, so unfortunately, chemistry is everywhere, and my job here is to provide you some understanding about chemistry, and hopefully we can discuss a little bit of public policies and why some decisions were taken and why some things are changing and how they are changing. Okay. Okay, so very good. Let's start with properties and states of matter. So matter can exist basically in 3 different states. First one is the solid state. In the solid state, we have a rigid material. Particles are moving at a low speed, and it's characterized by high organization. Okay, so very compact materials, particles do not, they move at low speed, and it's highly organized. If you give energy to a solid, this solid will start moving faster and will transform into a liquid. For the liquid state, now we have a not rigid material. Now particles are moving at a moderate speed, and they have a moderate organization. Okay, from the liquid state, you can give the compound or the element more energy. Now we move from liquid state to the vapor state, or also called gas state. For the vapor state, material is not rigid, particles are moving at a high speed, and we have low organization. All right. Each transformation has a specific name. From solid to liquid, we name that transformation as melting. Moving from liquid to vapor, that will receive the name of vaporization. And of course, we can move backwards from vapor to liquid, that's condensation. And then from liquid to solid, that's called freezing. All right, so from this slide, you have to be capable of describing each physical state of matter. Okay, here the characteristics of each state, and you have to be able to name the transformation between each physical state. And we can also have the direct transformation from solid to vapor. That may happen in some specific cases. The direct transformation from solid to vapor, that will receive the name of sublimation. Okay, solid to vapor, that's going to be called sublimation. And of course, you can go directly from vapor to solid. You may call that sublimation as well, or resublimation. Okay? Either way, you are going to be correct. All right, so now that we talked about the physical states of matter, let's talk a little bit about some properties of matter. We have two classifications for the properties, intensive or extensive. Let's start with intensive properties. Intensive properties of matter, they are independent of the quantity or mass of the material present, okay? So it's a property that does not depend on the amount of material you have. For example, here, boiling point of water is 100 degrees if you are at sea level. Doesn't matter if you have a cup of water or a bucket of water, the water will boil at 100 degrees. Therefore, boiling point is an intensive property. On the other hand, if you have an extensive property, extension depends on the quantity or mass of the material present. Okay, is exactly the opposite of the intensive property. For example, the volume of water. If you have 1 cup or a bucket, the volume will be dependent on the amount of material you have, okay? So therefore, volume will be classified as an extensive property. Notice one thing, everything that's presented as a pair, usually one part of the pair is the opposite of the other part of the pair, okay? So usually when I present something that's subdivided in two topics, they will be the opposite of each other. Okay, very good. So let's cover physical and chemical properties, and then we will wrap up for today. Okay, physical properties. Any property that can be observed without creating new compounds. For example, boiling point. To observe the boiling point, we have to heat up water to 100 degrees, and the water has to become vapor. Therefore, for observing the boiling point, the substance needs to change its physical state from liquid to vapor, and during this change, no new compounds were created, okay? So what I'm saying here is that I started with water, I boiled the water, and at the end, I still have the water, okay? So no new compounds were created. And here we go, chemical properties. Any property that, when observed, creates new compounds. For example, flammability. For observing the flammability is needed to burn a compound, and during this change, new compounds are formed. Okay, so let me write this in a better way for you. Okay, so in the case of flammability, you don't need to know this at this point, but we will start with a compound A. To observe flammability, we need to burn this compound. Any burning reaction involves the presence of oxygen and will produce carbon dioxide and water, okay? So everything before the arrow is your initial system, and everything after the arrow is your final system. To classify a property as a chemical property, you are going to look at everything that is in the initial system and compare to the final system, okay? So can you see here that initially I have the compound A and oxygen? At the end, we have two completely different compounds, carbon dioxide and water. If there is the production of a new compound at the end, that means we have a chemical property. Okay, so look at the beginning, at the composition that we started with, and look at the end and the composition that you have at the end. If there is one or more new compounds, that means you have a chemical property. All right, so keep that in mind. Any physical property or transformation, there is no creation or production of new compounds, okay? In chemical properties or transformation, you are going to somehow produce a compound that was not presented at the beginning. Okay, so with that, it's a good time for us to stop at this point. So we will come back here on Wednesday at the same time. I hope you have a good first week, and I will see you guys on Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye, Professor. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.